the impact has just been magnificent.
It's a really positive experience. It's set up really well. It's run really well.
Probably one of the best things I've ever done. You know, if not the best thing I've ever done.
If we change the idea or a moral compass of a young person, that's a success story.
I can't think of any negative aspect of Great Expectations at all.
I think that the benefits that Great Expectations can bring are that it's the people themselves. They're the guys who are still living it out now through obviously their current serving prisoners, but actually their experiences that they bring are always very positive, are actually showing this is what we've done, and actually the reality of it is today, we're still living this out today.
I just think everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Some people make bigger mistakes than others.
What we do, Great Expectations, the only thing in the whole country, Gloucestershire, Gloucestershire Constabulary have set this up, and it's the only type of thing in the whole country. And for the kids, it's really important for them to have that awareness, for someone to tell them, look, this can happen, that can happen if you choose the wrong path. Really, really important for them.
You get arrested, you go to the cells. However, it's a bit more serious this time. And they're like, you know what? I can't let you go home. Reflect on Fuzz's story. Every time he went to the cells, he got his head down and thought, this is easy, man. I'll have a couple of hours kit, catch up, feel refreshed, go home. Then suddenly they say to him, you ain't going home. What the hell? What do you mean I'm not going home? It happens, yeah? We work with a whole different collection of young people like you've seen today, who are in the mainstream school. We work with young people that are not able to attend the mainstream school in approved provisions or pupil referral units. We also work with young people that are on court orders. So part of their court order is to attend our Great Expectations. And we also work with young people sort of 10 and 11 that are just on the cusp of getting into trouble. And we do a court experience and a cell experience with those. So literally everyone from the age of 10 right up to the age of 18, doesn't matter where they are on the criminal spectrum, we work with them.
You know, I didn't have nothing against the police, but I thought that they wouldn't sort of like me. You know, they ring me on a regular basis, I ring them, I go to their houses. You know, that's just amazing, you know, for a man that spent 22 years in prison to have them. You know, all my old associates I've kind of lost contact with, and I'm much closer to the people that I've met while I was out doing Great Expectations than anyone else, really.
It's always difficult to encourage the young people that we work with to get involved with group work. They, you know, because then it's new, they're not sure what to expect, they're probably nervous.
Well, initially when they meet the Great Expectations team, I think the first meeting is you've got to work out who are the police and who are the people who are in prison, and I think that takes them some time to work out.
So everyone's looking around, guessing who we are. Straight away, they're sort of judging us. So we say, right, okay, throughout your life, you're saying that people are judging you. You just judged us on what we look like. And they, you know, they're all kind of hoods up, looking down at the floor for the first week. But we're very open, we're very honest. And then you see the second week, they want to come back. The third week, they're engaging, they're laughing and joking. And by the sixth week, we've usually got them almost like a very bounded sort of relationship with them. The trust's built up. We provide a very safe environment. You know, we have police in here. You can talk about anything. And that just shows that there's an element of honesty and an element of trust. And once you've got that, that's when we can start working.
The guys can really get in touch with the students and they can relate to them, and our students buy into reality a lot more than just sort of somebody else saying, well, this is what this could be. So those guys themselves have been really positive in what they've done.
And the stories that they come in with, the real life story, eye-opening, with also, you know, they've been exploring what prison is really like, and also if they make the right choices, where life could take them.
Remember on there, listen to advice. It's kind of a key thing on there. That's what this is, a bit of advice for you.
I'm a mentor, I'm an ex-prisoner. I've just come out of prison last year. I was working on the whole programme whilst I was a serving prisoner, and I come out, share my story over the 6-week programme.
I think when we do our stories, we go into the schools, and when we do our stories, you know, they see where we've come from, and it's usually quite like their upbringings, you know.
They engage and they listen, and that's a positive. We get on with them, we build that bond, and they trust us. And that's what it's about, engaging. That's a big part, first step.
And they know that, you know, they can't really lie to us because we're them. So I think with the police, they've always got their guard up, and they've got the answers ready. You know, with us, you know, we can say to them, like, you know, we know you're lying, you know, but that's up to you, you know. And I think at first they kind of look up to you a little bit, because they get a little bit starstruck and think, oh, he's been in prison, he's done this and that, you know. But the more you kind of sort of drum it into them that my life I've had, you know, where I've lost contact with my children and I've upset my mum and, you know, all my family, you know, I've had deaths while I've been away, and you know, it seems to hit home, you know, because everyone's got a mum and, you know, or a guardian, and it's, you know, it's a painful situation, you know, to be separated from them, yeah.
These guys are actually now, from our students' point of view, starting to think about the reality of what their actions could be, because they've seen it and are listening to people who have gone through that. So them just being able to talk about it and speaking to them afterwards, have you enjoyed what you've done? Have you got a lot out of it? And they've responded really positively because of the reality of the situation that the Great Expectations guys are living out today.
So for stories to come from prisoners about what life is really like and provide that open and honest look at their life is extremely important.
A teacher, a police officer hasn't been where we've been. Young people don't like to listen to anyone in any sort of authority figure. They want to listen to someone and engage with someone who's been there and done it, because they're the ones who are going to give them the real facts and stories of what's happened, where they've ended up. A police officer couldn't do that, nor could a social worker.
They tell the whole story, the good, the bad and the ugly, and they'll be open to ask any question. So for me, that's massive, and have the opportunity to work with that is huge. Having the Police Crime Commission support us is huge.
A court system is very different once you're 18. The youth system, which is a separate part of the justice system, deals with them very differently, sympathetically, quite rightly, and tries to rehabilitate them. Once you're 18, you're into adult court, and it's a very different scenario, and we try and demonstrate that for them so that perhaps it will deter them from continuing with their behaviour.
It can be really emotional listening to some of the mentors telling their stories, and just the concentration and the way that young people listen is just brilliant. It's absolutely amazing. It's something that I see very rarely with the young people that we work with.
And we've gone from working in the community to now a list of mainstream schools that want us to come in, because they see us as a factor that can actually help young people not get involved. So we work at the high end with young people that are involved, but also the kids that might be thinking about it. So it's not just us that see the value of what we're doing, it's the whole community, the police, the education system, social care, the youth support team, everybody sees the value of it.
The Academy became involved with Great Expectations through my previous experience. I've worked with them before at a special school, Peak Academy, and the fantastic work that they did there, I knew that they could have a really good input here at the Academy, and they hadn't worked in a mainstream specifically before, but here at the Academy we have an alternative day unit with some of our students who have a bit more challenging behaviours, so I thought it was an ideal for them to be involved with and to actually get to know them and do the work that they've done at my previous school.
You know, I just really found it fascinating. I thought if I can do some good and give a little something back, because I've took quite a lot from society, and I just thought, you know what, it'll be just so fulfilling, and it was 1,000 times better than I thought it'd be.
And a lot of young people don't have, you know, role models, male or female, in their life. So, you know, it's really important.
The advice I'd give to any school, whether it be special school that I've worked in before or mainstream school, is to just actually look at the bigger picture about what these guys can offer. Yes, it could be a little bit while we're having, you know, current prisoners into school and people might respond negatively about it, but actually it's very professionally run. There's a lot of pre-work that goes on about our students and the information that they get to know about the police for what's going on with our guys, and actually it's a really positive experience. It's set up really well, it's run really well.
I'm now going to bail you, which means that you have to appear before Cheltenham Magistrates Court tomorrow. They will issue a warrant for your arrest and they will come looking for you. Do you understand?
Yes. £100 with intent to supply. How do you plead?
Guilty.
We often have 5 or 6 on a Saturday, and we go through the court scenario with them as a mock trial type process. But many of them, you can see the shock on their face because they're not aware what happens as they get older.
Return to court and be sentenced then. Officer, will you take him down to the cell?
So hopefully over the 6 weeks journey, especially with the mentor stories, these kids can actually think about their own lives and think, actually, there's a few changes I need to make. You know, changes in my attitude, changes in my behaviour, relationships with family, you know, other people in the community, schools. And that change of attitude helps them find a different path, perhaps. When I heard about this programme, I had to get involved. I needed to get involved.
Because there's nothing else like this. There's nothing else like this in the country. You know, it's an amazing opportunity for the prisoners and for the children.
Early intervention with our young people is the most important thing in their life. If we can change their path now, it will not only save an awful lot of money, pain and anger later on, but it can change those life experiences and they can go beyond their expectations of where they can end up in life.
I think it's vital. It's not going to solve all the problems, but if we save just a few children each year from going on to being adult criminals, I think it's well worth the time and the effort that we put into it.
And for the kids, you know, it's about breaking down barriers for the kids as well and thinking, you know what, you don't have to go down that road, or, you know, you don't have to be the way your dad was and hate the police and hate this. You know, it doesn't have to be like that, you know, and for someone who's changed their own opinion, it's good for the kids to sort of to hear that sort of stuff. Yeah.